What's up, guys? What's up and welcome. A little bit of a delay here. This computer, I swear, my computer is on its last leg. I know it is. So if y'all can hear this fan going right now, I apologize. I restarted the computer beforehand. It keeps freezing on me. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the heck. I'm not hip to the jive, not smart with the technology stuff, but we'll figure it out. Let me hit this record button here and we will get going. What's up and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks. I am your host as always. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching, depending on how you are enjoying the content today. I am live on Twitter and YouTube. If you are on Twitter, do me a favor, hit the retweet button. Help me out. Help me try to grow the show. If you like the show, if you're like the format and the picks, come on over to YouTube at Lunchtime in the Lab. We are live on YouTube every single day, only live on Twitter every other day, every couple days, something like that. And then, of course, we got the listeners there on Spotify, Apple, everything like that as well. If you're all watching on Twitter and you comment within the video, I'll be able to interact and respond to those. And the people that are on YouTube, same old thing as usual. We took a day off yesterday. It was nice. Honestly, I just feel like I'm just trying to survive April, just trying to get out of April and get into May. We'll see how today goes. I got some spots that I really like today. More so like the late games. I feel like today feels a little trappy, to be completely honest. I mean, just some kind of tough matchups. You got Yankees, Orioles, where the Orioles have been struggling. I mean, the Yankees, like who's going to wake up there? You got the Nationals in Miami. It's not really, no one's really running to bet on that matchup. Cardinals and Tigers, I do have a play on that game. The Royals and Blue Jays have both had some decent pitching going. Cubs and Mets, Cubs should win that game, but Mets have been scrappy. Of course, the Cubs have dropped two in a row. Missing, Bellinger, missing Suzuki in there. White Sox and Twins. White Sox just swept. I mean, what the heck? I don't have a White Sox hat on today, but I should. 3-0 against the Rays. They continue that. They have their quote-unquote ace, but he's got a 6 ERA. Rays and the Brewers. Rays just got swept. Do they turn it around? Brewers are a solid team. And then all of a sudden, we are in our nightcap. The game starting at 9:40 Eastern time. Where I'm at. So you got those games where you put them on and you go to bed, or, I'll be able to turn them on after the wife goes to bed and we finish. We're watching Blacklist right now, watch a couple of episodes of Blacklist tonight. Once the kids go to bed, she'll go to bed. I can flip on the Braves game or the Reds or something like that. Some goofy lineup, goofy whatever, but thankfully, though, we talk about weather a lot here. It doesn't look like there's any big rain chances or anything. Wind is pretty under control. I'm subscribed to Ballpark Pal. It's like $10 a month. Used to be free data, but I can't kind of can't go without it. But we're constantly seeing an uptick in green. We're having a lot less red. The weather is getting better. The warmer weather is getting better. Once that ball starts traveling better, we'll just feel better about playing, player props and everything like that. It's been a hot minute since I've been on a player prop, and looking back in my tracker from years past, I mean, I was all over them, so maybe we'll do some extra research today and try to see if I can't find a player prop I might potentially like today, but anyhow, we'll get into it. Like I said, before we do the plays here, pop in here, say hi. Show definitely feels a little better when we have more interaction going in the chat. Can answer questions and everything like that. But let's see, today is April 29th. Like I said, just trying to survive May, and we get to kind of start over, start fresh on the unit count and everything like that, and kind of get hit and get going on it. Chuck says thoughts on Phillies money line and boom, hit 2-leg builder. Definitely like the Phillies money line. Oh, I thought you were saying 2-hit. Definitely like the Phillies money line. I would have to specifically look at his stats, lefty righty versus, whatever he's got going on today. But I certainly do like the Phillies. We'll talk about the Phillies here in a second, which will kind of go along with that. Griffin Canning on the mound, dude struggled for sure. So we're going to attack it in a different way. But I for sure would like the Phillies money line. a lot of, and then really the highest money line today, we're looking at like minus 158, minus 164 with the Blue Jays, I guess. Blue Jays don't deserve to be a money line of, any kind of favoritism like that, but just feels like could be a weird day. Anyway, like I said, today's Monday, the 29th here, and Brewers and Dodgers. Dodgers are on the ban list, so I don't know if I can mess with. I don't know. Trent says, Brewers and Dodgers. I would certainly say that's a good look. I definitely like Paxton has a better advantage than we do over Henry, and then Wilson though has only been kind of this like opener or like only going 3 or 4 innings, so like that's kind of weird. But I mean you're on the right track though. I think for sure. Recap though from last episode, we did take Sunday off. It was a super nice day, just kind of being with the family. By the time this episode would have aired, we were already at a Mexican restaurant. I had some tacos in my hand, and we had a good day with the family yesterday. So this recap would be from Saturday, I guess it was. We had the Cardinals early up promo that hit pretty easily. I think they were up 3-0 in the first inning. Cubs money line, man, that was. It doesn't happen very often where I can say that I was dead wrong. And it was one of those where the game just really got away from itself. But I mean, I think what did the Cubs lose, like 11-0, or maybe even worse than that? Certainly missing Bellinger, missing Suzuki, missing some of these pitchers that they have out. Definitely was a rough game there. And then I went with the over for the Mexico City game. When I wrote it up, it was at 16. It moved to 16.5. Went ahead and locked it in officially at 16.5. Of course, the game finished at 16. So we went 1-2, unfortunately. If you're in the Discord, though, we did hit a nice 3-leg parlay. Cashed that in the, I thought it was like 17-0. That's crazy, Trent. Cashed a nice plus 1,200 in the Discord, though. Tucker, Alvarez, and McMahon to hit a home run that cashed in the third inning. Certainly had some potential in that game, but I wish we had a better team. I wish the Rockies weren't in it. Honestly, the Astros haven't been a great hitting team either. But the Rockies, it would have been nice to have, 2 better offenses in that. Then we would have seen some like really crazy stuff. But anyhow, today we'll get into it though here. I got 3 plays on the board. Like I said, feels weird, going to be, if you're in the Discord, in the Beer Money Discord, going to be probably taking it a little lighter. But we'll see, we'll see how it goes. Victor asked about the early up promo. Man, I tell you, I've been using that thing and I'm just lose. And because I tell people like my normal route of playing things isn't like there's the podcast and then there's like the quote unquote VIP plays. And on the podcast, I have full access to anything, but the role I play in the Discord generally is picking safer type bets. And normally I wouldn't go after a pick 'em or an even money type game or something like that because I'm not one to be it's just not my role generally or whatever, but looking at it though, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of games early that I don't feel like I overly trust. I would maybe think Cubs as an away teams. I feel like they have the stronger pitcher today. My favorite, though, would probably be the Reds late against the Padres. And that's scary because the Padres can be scrappy, but that Waldron they have pitching at home has just been terrible. I think he's got like a 10+ ERA at home. Lodolo started out pretty strong. You have, like I said, I normally like to take it on an away team. So you have the opportunity for the Reds to get up 1-0 or 2-0, obviously early. But that Waldron guy has really struggled at home. So you have a pitching advantage there. And then with the Reds being away, the Reds would probably be my favorite. I probably won't even use it in the promo myself, to be honest, because I've just been losing at it, and that's why they give it out, because that entices people to like play like the value plays and like you're losing with it. If you wanted, not even so, but like, even the Braves at minus 142, like that might be a good look, or the Dodgers at minus 139 might be a good, minus 134 might be a good look. But it just comes down to how you want to bet. I have a play on the Dodgers here in a second. The Dodgers, I think, can get on the board quickly. The Dodgers might be a good look. If you're looking for like absolute, what's going to give me the best money back, the Reds would probably be a good one. But anyhow, without further ado, let's get into the official plays for today. Let's see. First play is going to be in the Cardinals and the Tigers, and you know what? I feel weird about taking this because baseball has been weird. And sometimes you don't want to. What's that, Dion? If you hang out to the end, we'll talk some home runs. Always put together a lotto for the home runs. Um, when baseball is weird, I suppose you don't want to go trusting, two teams that do struggle to score or whatever. You want to lean on your Braves or Dodgers or whoever, the Phillies, like some of these solid teams. But I looked at this line last night. I mean, I think my son was up at like 3 this morning. I was looking through, the starting pitchers, and I seen Mieta up there. I seen Steven Matz, both of them with a high ERA, and I was just like, runs. It's gotta mean runs, like they've both been getting torn up. So I like the first 5 over 4.5 in this game. Cardinals have Steven Matz going. He's got a 1-2 record with a 5.55 ERA, and he's just been killed in his last 3 starts. 7, 5, and 4 runs given up in his last 3 starts. I will say 2 of those against the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are leading the league in runs. Diamondbacks are a fantastic team. I would put the Diamondbacks with one of those teams that I certainly trust betting on. When all else fails, there's these 3 or 4 teams that are generally going to produce for you. But then he gave up 5 against the A's, who have certainly been scrappy. I mean, the A's. It's almost to the point where like you were like, all right, I'm going to bet against the A's, and they just almost naturally just like, all right, who's playing the White Sox, betting against them. All right, who's playing against the A's, betting against them. But like the A's have been winning these games recently. They've been staying scrappy, and maybe it's just because the Yankees are just a super frustrating team. But anyway, he gave up 5 to the A's. Detroit got Kenta Mieta going. If that's how I pronounce it. I don't know if I'm saying it right. 0-1, 5.96 ERA. And he's the pitcher on the board today with the most home runs given up. I think 7. He's given up 7 home runs. I put that out at Live Joe Betts on Twitter every day. Dropping in the Discord too. It's just a list of the pitchers for today and how many home runs they've given up. He is at the top of the list, tied for 4th in the league with the most home runs given up. He did have a good outing against the Rays most recently here. Gave up 0 runs, but before that, he had a game of 6, a 2, a 3, and a 6 in terms of runs given up. And I guess you look at too, like the Rays, he just shut out the Rays, but I mean the Rays also just got swept by the White Sox. So I mean, like, what kind of correlation do we really have there? I don't know how much that's saying. Were they on a downtrend of like a slump or something like that? I mean, the White Sox just handed the Rays, a couple quick L's, 3 L's there, and it was not, never even really a game. It seemed like one of them might have gone to extras, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, the White Sox led those games like the whole time. Cardinals have a lot of potential, in my opinion. Maybe one of these teams is going to benefit from, getting some warm weather and getting the ball, being able to travel again. But the Cubs, the Cardinals really haven't been scoring a ton, but I mean, they certainly have potential. They have a really great lineup. O'Neill and Arenado, Wilson Contreras, super solid guy. Goldschmidt, man, when he gets on, I mean, we're talking the end of Goldschmidt here probably, but they got some solid guys, and if Maeda leaves one across the middle, I mean, we're on our way right there, just off the home run, So I know these, like I said, I know these 2 offenses haven't been great, but it's a play on the pitchers, And yesterday we had Patrick Corbin Day yesterday, and somebody asked me in the Discord, they're like, George, it's Patrick Corbin Day. My boy Taco, I don't think he's in here right now, but I said, he just had a really good outing, and he's going against the Marlins. The Marlins offense hasn't been great. I said, I'm going to sit this one out. I didn't give any plays out, missed out on Patrick Corbin Day, facing the Marlins, who is, poor offense. He had been looking good. And what did the Marlins go and do? The Marlins went and put up 6 runs on him in the first inning. Patrick Corbin Day was a success, again. Obviously, he was just against the Dodgers, just shut the Dodgers out. So it's going to be goofy. There's going to be goofy times like that. But, I passed on the Marlins yesterday because the Marlins offense is soft. And then lo and behold, they turned around because it still was just a play on the pitcher. So today, it's a play on those pitchers. Both these pitchers have been giving up a lot of runs. Obviously, both of these offenses can be a little anemic. I trust the Cardinals more than I trust the Tigers, I suppose. But we have a line of just 4.5. We need just 5 runs. We need just 1 run an inning. We need, a half a run from each team an inning, so quote unquote, right? Not quote unquote, so to speak, whatever the term is. But anyhow, first play is going to be Cardinals, Tigers, first 5 over 4.5. Get about minus 120 or so wherever you're looking. Second play, Cardinals team total would be a lean. Yeah, I certainly would think so as well. I'm liking first 5 type stuff in that game just because you're on that because of the starting pitchers. So why increase the number on a team that has been not hitting as well? I think both bullpens are pretty average too, so you don't have like an advantage of really going like deeper in it, if that makes sense. If you were to look at the first 5 team total for the Cardinals, you got over 2.5 at plus 120. So the books are certainly not saying that it's, books are saying it's more unlikely to happen, obviously, than, you got the Tigers. Oh, actually, was I looking at? Oh, okay. Yeah. The Tigers is plus 114 for for over 2.5 as well. So, I like the first 5 because I like to attack the pitchers. I'm not overly interested in the bullpen, although we'll talk about a bullpen type play here in a second where it makes more sense playing a full game because of like a struggles that a bullpen might have. Anyhow, second game, you got 2 teams here that are pretty powerful offensively. I think you can play this game in a magnitude of different ways. So hopefully the way that I'm choosing to play it isn't going to be the wrong way, I guess. And like, I'm in this internal, like, if you're in the Discord, like I'm trying to decide, like, do I just run these 3 plays, for the podcast, just throw them in the Discord, call it a day, or do I go like builder wise? And, maybe I lower this line that I'm looking at, maybe skip the Cardinals game Discord wise. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've certainly been in this, like, I'm winning on the podcast. Maybe I'm thinking too much in the Discord. I had that conversation with a buddy, like, am I trying to do too much? Am I, maybe I'm doing a, quicker podcast, getting it together, and not too much thinking is actually the right way. And I'm overthinking, for the, the quote unquote official plays for the or for the Discord. Anyway, I think you could play this. And originally I was going to play it Dodgers first 5 team total over 2.5. And you're just seeing the line continue to inflate. If this podcast would have been at 9 a.m, we would have been able to play this number. I'm as I'm talking here, I'm pulling this up right now. Innings. Okay, it came down. It's not as bad. Dodgers team total first 5 innings over 2.5 minus 135. It was pushing like minus 150 almost. But I'm going to transition to going with the first 5. And I got to actually pull it back up here because I started to pull some home run guys up that I liked because I wanted to play some home runs because he did have a better lineup today. Going over 5.5 first 5 for this game. So we need both teams to contribute. So, I mean, similar to play what we have for the Tigers and the Cardinals here. Like I said, but you could play Dodgers first 5 team total. You could play Diamondbacks first 5 team total. But since I think both of those are good plays, I think the Dodgers first 5 team total over 5.5 isn't a bad look, to be completely honest. I tell you what, though, I certainly wish this was over 4.5 instead of 5.5, but over 4.5, you're looking at minus 188. Might not be a bad idea, to add it into like a builder type play or something like that. Maybe something I'll play with later, but for the sake of the podcast here, we're going to ride with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks first 5 total over 5.5. So we're going to need 6 runs. You have a lefty, Tommy Henry, pitching on the year. He's 1.1, 5.55 ERA, but at home, he's got a 10.80 ERA. He's given up 5 on 9 hits to the Cubs and 5 on 6 hits to the Rockies at home. Getting pulled in 4 of each of his starts. Dodgers hit lefties pretty well. They have the second highest, batting average, the first on base percentage, the most runs in the second most runs in the league, the 5th most home runs, and the 3rd highest slugging percentage. You have this pitcher who has been getting hit hard, and you have this Dodgers team that when they are on, they're fantastic. Unfortunately, it seems like every time I've been on the Dodgers, they're off. So if you're in that same, grouping, you might say like this is a bad play. You might want to transition to the Diamondbacks first five team total. You know, I'm locking in the first five over 5.5 officially. I'm here to try to help you guys and try to educate as well. If somebody DMs me or somebody comes in later and they're like, hey, yeah, you missed that bet, but I went ahead and played the Diamondbacks, and I'd say, awesome. I'm glad I was able to give you some insight. I'm glad I was able to help win you money, whatever the conversation is, whatever the comment would be, I'd be glad to help. But when you look at the Diamondback side of things here, they score the most runs in the league. They hit the lefties. They hit lefties the best in terms of batting average, on base percentage, everything like that. Paxton, if you look at him, like he's been fairly decent, but I mean the guy does give up some runs. We don't need him. We don't need one team to do it all. We need each team to help a little bit. I mean, we need a 3-3 kind of game at the beginning, at the end of the fifth, obviously. 4 runs, 4-2. I mean, I don't care what it is. Like I said, I certainly wish this was over 4.5, because I mean, you could see easily a 3-2, a 4-1, or something like that. And but we're gonna need just one more run out of one of those sides. Not messing with the bullpens, because I think the full game, because I think both teams do have a pretty big bullpen here. We have a total of over 10 for the full game. But it's like I said, it's an attack on the starting pitchers. And maybe I'll be back here tomorrow saying like, man, like I can't hit a bet to save my life kind of conversation or something like that. I mean, we'll see if that's the case. But if I like the first 5 team total, if I like the first five team total for both teams, and I can't decide which one I want to go after, I guess the Diamondbacks would be the first, just because how good they hit against lefties. But you have the Dodgers, who are fantastic, and then they have, they're going against a lefty, and they're going against a pitcher that has really struggled at home. You add it together, the first 5 team total, first 5 total just makes sense. So that's what we're going to lock up officially, is the first 5 total over 5.5 for the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. And as usual, before we get into the third play, do me a favor, hit the like button, do me a favor, and hit the subscribe button on YouTube for me. If you have not done that yet, continue to help me out, continue to grow this show. Doing it absolutely for free, and still not at the point where I can get any sort of, money from YouTube or anything like that. I do certainly do this for fun, but of course I would like to be able to, see some kind of an income or something like that at some point would be fantastic. So certainly help me out if you guys are around to be able to hit that like button so we can try to see more faces on this. If you're watching it on Twitter and you have not checked me out on YouTube, come on over to YouTube for me, please, and subscribe. Also retweet it. Also, if you like the show on Twitter, just come on over to YouTube anyway, because then you don't miss the show. Like I said, only live on Twitter every couple days. Anyhow, third play here. Going Phillies team total over 4.5. Phillies are facing Griffin Canning, 1-3, 7.50 ERA. Dude's been just getting killed. He's given up at least 2 runs in every single start that he's had. If we get 2 runs out of him, then if we only get 2 runs out of him, I mean, we're certainly on our way and we're feeling good. He's only gone 5 innings max. I mean, he has let's see, in those 5 starts, I think he's gone 5 twice, and he's got pulled in the 4th, because he's been in trouble multiple times. He has given up 3, 2, 7, 4, and 5 runs in every start. So, I mean, you take out that 2, he's given up 3+ in 4 out of 5 games. Guy's given up a lot of runs. I talk about like a complete lineup. I think the Phillies is a fantastic baseball team. I think they're a solid team. I think it was Chuck. To Chuck's point, I do like Phillies money line here for sure. Too much juice to try to play it straight. And I don't want to worry about whether or not they're going to be able to hold it down or stop the other team from scoring or anything like that. In the Phillies' last 5 games, they scored at least 4 runs in 9 of their 10. The last 10 games, going 5+ runs at 8 of their last 10, including 4 straight games where they're over when they're over that, I'm reading the chat and trying to talk. Going 5+ in 8 of their last 10, and they've gone 4 straight games where they scored 5+ runs. If you look at the Angels, they've allowed 5+ runs in 4 straight games. I think this Phillies team, can hit like the best of them. We got some halfway decent weather. If we can get ourselves a home run or two, we're going to be flying over this. This is also a nice spot here, a smart spot to take the team total because they are the away team. So we're going to have the guaranteed top of the ninth inning at bat. We don't have to worry about, if you're the home team, you're praying they tie it up, or you're praying they're losing or something like that to get that extra at bat if you're chasing a run. But, the top of the ninth, we do get that extra at bat, if we need an extra run or something like that. So it's a really good spot there. Chuck talking about the bomb boom. I can't ever remember how to pronounce his name. I feel like I struggle with that in MLB compared to football. I'm all over it. But he's on a 12-game hit streak. So the Phillies money line plus him to get a hit seems like a solid look. I tell you, the way it seems like I've been running, that would probably end, unfortunately. So I think that's a fantastic look, and you have a really good way of looking at it there. I would maybe just look at his splits, see if he's ever faced him before. I don't know if Canning's a lefty versus righty. I don't remember. But see how he looks that way. But I think you're on to something there. That's for sure. So anyhow, third play going to be the Phillies team total. And like I kind of said, kind of just thinking out loud and stuff here, you have a spot here where I feel like we could almost, and I'm just kind of talking like Discord because I haven't decided yet. For the people that are in there, like, my normal role would be trying to play that, safe route or whatever. And but I just hate to go with, like minimal plays. But I mean, I guess, just one play is, better than, multiple losing plays. But if we were to do like, where is it at? First 5 innings for the Diamondbacks, and talking, how I feel. I'm by no means, I as a straight, I'm playing this straight. I like the over 5.5. I'm just thinking for like what could be, quote unquote, safer or whatever. If we liked this over 4.5, we pull them down 1 run, for the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Then you go to like the Phillies. Go to the Phillies and you take their team total and pull that down 1 to over 3.5. Got yourself a plus 119 or something like that, So, if you were to look at Dodgers and Diamondbacks over 4.5, first 5 total, pull that down to 4.5 instead of 5.5, take the Phillies at 3.5, which would be a hit rate of like almost 10 out of 10, I think. What did I say? In their last, where's it at? Oh, scored 4+ and 9 out of 10. So it'll be a 90% hit rate if you pull them down, get a plus 119. So these are just the things I'm thinking about or whatever. Bit in my head, I think. That's why I'm just trying to survive the May. So we can just say we're started over. We get out of this weird little losing streak or something like that, But to recap here, and then we'll talk about some home runs. Do a home run lotto to get that out in the Discord, get that on Twitter too. Twitter at LiveJoeBets. But we'll recap here for audio, get audio out of here. That way I don't have to upload such a long podcast. But first play for today is going to be the Cardinals and Tigers first 5 total over 4.5. Second play was the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks over 5.5 total within the first 5. Like I said, I could see you playing the first 5 team total for both teams as an option if you want to go that route. I just, like I said, if I like both of them, I feel like we're going to see, why not see enough runs to cover that over 5.5, in the first 5. And then the third play, and probably my favorite play of the day, is going to be the Phillies team total over 4.5, getting Canning being the away team. And I actually didn't even mention it. The Angels actually, I think that because my computer was freezing and stuff on me, and I think I mentioned I had to restart it. The Angels have the second highest ERA in the league, the highest ERA in the AL, and they're giving up the 3rd most home runs as a bullpen. So we have Griffin Canning gets pulled after 4 innings or 5 innings of being in trouble, and then we have the bullpen coming in. We have 4 innings, 3 innings, whatever it's going to be, maybe 5 innings of a bullpen that is actually the worst in the AL. just adds to, the benefit of the Phillies team total here as, like I said, my favorite play. And one that honestly, I feel like I may just go ahead and just lock in possibly after this podcast as a Discord play, because it is something I trust the Phillies. Like you said, you trust the teams. You continue to bet the teams that you trust. I trust the Phillies. I trust the Braves. I trust the Diamondbacks. I trust the Dodgers more than I trust some of these bad teams, although the Dodgers have burned me a hell of a lot of times, So anyhow, that's the recap for the podcast today. Audio side, I'm going to get you guys out of here. People that are watching on Twitter or YouTube, hang out. We're going to talk some home runs here real quick. But let me get audio out of here so I don't have to upload a 40-minute podcast or whatever it is. As always, I'm your host, Lunchtime in the Lab. We brought to you every day. Thanks so much for listening. If you're interested in watching, come on over to YouTube at Lunchtime in the Lab, and make sure you give me a follow on Twitter at Live Joe Bet so you can see some of these graphics I put out. I have that home run guide, for which pitchers today have given up the most home runs to kind of point you in the right direction for some winners. Try to put together some lottos or anything like that. But those that are listening, I will see you guys back tomorrow at 11:30. All right, TJ. Both Mexico games had a 2 or 3 home run parlay. Yeah, it had the potential. I don't know if they go back to Mexico or not this year. I hope so. I hope we have better teams. I hit one of them. I was a Ryan McMahon in the first game. I was a Ryan McMahon home run away from hitting a plus 8,000. I had Alvarez for 2, McMahon for 2. And then I played McMahon solo for 2 because they didn't allow Alvarez solo for 2. Man, that would have fed some families, that's for damn sure. But unfortunately, that didn't come in. But we were able to cash the plus like 12 or something like that, 1,200 in the Discord. So we got some money out of it. Twins Phillies 2-leg. Marcus, you certainly have to have like amnesia when you're betting MLB. But I've watched my White Sox win 3 games in a row that they should not have won. When you have a hot team, sometimes things just go right, to be completely honest. Do I think the Twins win this game? Even as a White Sox fan, yes. Would I bet it? No, I would not. I would stay away. Garrett Crochet is on the mound. Started out fantastic in his first 3 starts. Then he's fallen apart. The White Sox have won 3 games in a row. White Sox are back at home. We have actually good weather for home runs. I have a guy that I like for a home run in the White Sox game, which could be scary. What if the ball's traveling? All it takes is one bad pitch, to give that game up or something like that. If you wanted something safety like that, Marcus, today's not the day for me. I know I normally run those 2-leg, money line plays. I don't know if you were here in the beginning. A lot of weird stuff. I think just a weird day of baseball, to be honest. A lot of even money stuff. Feel really good about the Phillies. Their pitcher though, not the best. That's why I'm going runs. I like the Phillies for the total. Not a fan of their pitcher. I would go with, and I hesitate, the Braves. Braves got Fried going, but he just threw 9 innings and is very likely going to be on a bit of a pitch count. You may see him get pulled. You might be one of those spots where they're like, man, why'd they take him out so early? And then the Braves bullpen gives up some runs. Like, he just threw 9 innings. You don't normally see a pitcher go deep back-to-back games. So my fear would be that that Fried has a short leash, but I would think Braves and Phillies as a safe kind of parlay. The Twins also squeaked by the White Sox a couple times too, though, TJ. They walked off one time, and then they barely did. So, like I said, like, is the right move to bet the Twins? Yes. Would I personally do it just out of in my spot where I have people that like expect me to win? Like, you guys on this podcast, you guys aren't paying for this. If we lose, I say sorry. I want to win, of course, but like, we move on, and outside of some bad eggs, we continue to go whatever. But in the Discord, I'm supposed to give an absolute winner. I'm supposed to think from all angles and everything like that. And it just doesn't feel like a game that's worth me touching when there's people that are actually paying for like that knowledge or something like that. If that makes sense. Twins are the right play. It's just not a play that I would touch in the Discord. Dion, it seems like when you take somebody for a home run the day of, they always hit a home run the next day. 100%. I don't know if you play Call of Duty, Dion, but y'all ever be playing Call of Duty? Maybe any shooting game. And you're watching this corner because you know someone's about to come around. You just know that you're playing team deathmatch and the spawns have flipped, and you just know someone's going to come down this corner or through this door or something like that. And you're watching it. You're watching it for 30 seconds. And you're like, I'm gonna watch it for 15 more seconds because I know someone's coming through this door. And you're like, fuck it. You turn around to run somewhere else, dead. Somebody comes through that door. Every freaking time. That's how Call of Duty works. That's how playing Halo. I don't care what you're playing. That's how it works, right? When we're playing first-person shooters. I don't know if you guys play video games. I used to play Halo. I mean, I still do play some. Not as much as I used to. That's how it works. So, home run wise, I once took Pete Alonso for 2 home runs. And he hit 1 home run. And I was like super close, right? Next day, he hit 2 home runs. I took Ian Happ for 2 home runs plus like 20,000 one time. Had a good read, I thought. Had 1 home run. Guess what he did the next day? He hit 2 home runs. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But then as soon as you start like trying to play that, you're like, oh, let me take Mike Trout again and again and again. But also, if you take Mike Trout, he's literally hitting a home run in 1 in every 10 at bats. So I mean, like, you know, what are you gonna do? Jared, one of the most consistent cappers in the Discord. Appreciate you. And that's why, you know, like unfortunately, I think that at times I put too much into it. And I think that I could turn around and just like drop these 3 plays and move on. And maybe I do, you know, but, or I could turn around and do the Dodgers thing and where I pull down the Dodgers first 5 team total the Dodgers first 5 total to, I looked at 3.5 and Philly's down to 3.5 team total. And that's like minus 115, but it's a mind game, I'll tell you. Let's talk some home runs. I got to get my son to speech and we got to be there in 50 minutes. I got to wake my other son up and feed him so he's not going to be an asshole while he's waiting on his brother at speech. So I need to probably get out of here in about 10 minutes. Home run guys that I like today. First off, I have 3, and I feel like the first one I selected, I like the least amount. So if somebody has somebody in here to hit a home run, I seen Bryce Harper. He's my, Bryce Harper is my thumbnail player of the day. Maybe Bryce Harper hits a home run. The 3 that I have pulled up today. The first one that I put up here that I was not as much of a fan of was Lourdes Gurriel. Lourdes, however the fuck. Gurriel. I think he's a junior as well. Against Paxton, he's had 4 hits. He's got 2 home runs against them. We talk about how well this lineup hits lefties. Honestly, I love the Diamondbacks today. I just wish that Paxton wasn't. Paxton has been a pretty strong pitcher. But what's the Diamondbacks team total? 4.5. I like Wilson Contreras a lot, honestly, because of, and let me see actually his history. Like we said, the Tigers give up a lot of home runs. Bat average pitcher, Contreras. He's been pretty average against Maeda. Yeah, that's is he on that bad of a cold streak? I didn't realize, TJ. Where you at? Gurriel doesn't have a hit in 12 at bats. Are you serious? Where have I been? That dude's Matt Olson up in there. Oh, I was thinking you meant like 12 games for some reason. Yeah, okay. Let's not do him then, huh? Perfect time to bounce out tonight, though, when we got him for the first 5. Yeah, I don't like that. Teoscar? Teoscar. Teoscar. We looked up how to pronounce his name a few days ago, and I don't remember. That's a pretty good replacement in that he does hit lefties really well. He does hit lefties really well. What's his home run? My son's in here just laughing at something. I need to figure out how to like block his YouTube because I keep going in there and he's watching some weird shit. It's like still like it was Sonic, but they were like cussing. And it's just like my son doesn't really know like what like he says damn it all the time. He like drops something, it's like, ah, damn it. And like I can't stop it, you know, but like he doesn't know, you know, it was like subtitles and they were calling each other like bastards. And I was just like, what the hell are you watching? Anyway, we'll go with Hernandez in the Dodgers Arizona game. I'm cool with that. That'll hopefully we'll be looking for a cash there, and the other two's hit. Like I said, I like Wilson Contreras against the Tigers, who gives up Maeda's giving up a lot of home runs. That's a look that I like. I've been seeing people on Bryce. I got Eloy Jimenez. I like Eloy Jimenez. I don't know what kind of history he has against them, but I don't know if that necessarily matters. He does have a home run against Joe Ryan in his career. You do have good weather. I think we have wind blowing out, if I'm not mistaken. Ballpark Pal has this as the best home run game today, is the White Sox game. So I feel, and Eloy's been hit at times. Like, look, the bright spot, the White Sox have been getting better since Eloy's got healthy. When I don't know when Luis Roberts comes back, but I mean, like he's been missing too. That's why the White Sox was hurting, because they were missing, like their offense is bad and they've lost all their guys. TJ, he watches it on like a Roku TV, so it literally like there's a YouTube button on his thing, and that's how he gets to it. So I don't know. I have to figure it out. All right. So anyway, I feel really good about Eloy Jimenez. I feel okay. I feel good about Hernandez. You guys could talk me out of Wilson Contreras if y'all aren't feeling that. Bryce Harper. What kind of action Bryce got here? Got lefty righty on Harper. Griffin Canning, I don't think has given up a ton of home runs, but like he definitely has got hit. I mean, we could ride Harper, like I said, because he's our cover athlete today. Not that like, I mean, I just literally like, because I was on the Phillies team total, I'm like, all right, I need a Philly. He has 5 of his 6 home runs is against righties, so that's a good look for Bryce. Do we take? And Contreras really hasn't like hit Maeda very well. Okay. Then I hate to not go after the dude that's giving up the most home runs, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to happen today. Where we at? I'm cool with it. Probably got some warmer weather out there in Los Angeles too. That game at the Diamondbacks, it's going to be, I think they're going to close the stadium probably because it's hot. What am I looking for? Harper's 255. Jeez. So it'd be plus 7,727 if we rode Harper, Eloy Jimenez, and Hernandez for the Dodgers. Teoscar. Teoscar. We'll do that. Those will be the 3. Jimenez, Hernandez, Harper. The man with the plan. I think that looks good. I think that's what we'll do. If nobody else has anything, we'll think about getting off here. I hate to wake my son up, but I got to get him up and get him fed so we can go to speech. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was up late last night, and I came by like this like I don't know job posting for like writing like sports articles, for like websites and stuff. And then like they emailed me back, and they're like, "Oh, we're hiring immediately," and it's like $4. You get paid $4 for every 1,000 views on your article. That's not good. And then I look up the website, and it's like riddled with ads, and it's like, all right, like, do they got a Twitter? I got like 10,000. I got 20,000 more followers than they do. Like, fuck that. I'm not gonna write articles for somebody where I get paid per view, and they're like, I've never heard of them. So moving on from that. Anyhow, yeah, the Astros went well, and then the second game didn't really go that well. But all right, y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get this posted for audio, and then I gotta get the kids going, dressed, get one fed, get the other one dressed, and we gotta get down the road so he can do his speech. I really don't think he needs it for very much longer. He's been doing a lot better. But I'm gonna close it out. For those of you that may have just joined, the recap today. We're doing Cardinals Tigers first 5 over 4.5 for the first play. Dodgers first 5 team total. Oh, I wrote it down, but that's not. Dodgers Diamondbacks first 5 total over 5.5. But then, like I said, you can transition to doing first 5 team totals if you liked one way or the other, and then Phillies team total over 4.5 being my favorite play, I believe, today. And then we're gonna do the Eloy Jimenez, Teoscar Hernandez, and Bryce Harper for the home run lotto. Yeah. Yep, that's it. All right, and I'll see you guys. Appreciate you guys. Give me a follow at Live Joe Bets if you're not already. I got that home run, cheat sheet up that I been trying to do every day. I didn't do it this weekend. I completely forgot about it, to be honest. But appreciate you guys. And I'll plan on seeing you guys back tomorrow at 11:30.